Alright, so we want to write 3/10 plus 7/100, well 700ths, as a single fraction using decimal notation. So when they say single fraction using decimal notation, we want to write it as a decimal. You remember what your decimal looks like? You remember how to write decimals? You normally would have a digit before your ones position, and if you don't, you write a 0. Then you have a decimal point, and every digit moving to the right is a decimal place value, right? Do you remember what we call the place value position right after the decimal point? The decimal place value after the decimal point is the tenths. Remember with a TH, tenths. So if we look at the sum that we have on the top here with the fractions, 3/10. This tells me my tenths digit here, right? So if I have to write my decimal, I will put this fraction in the tenths position. So let's get started actually. We're going to write 0 point. The reason why we don't have any ones digits, we don't have any whole number parts, we only have fractions. We put a decimal point, and I just mentioned that the tenths position is the place value position right after the decimal point. So in this case, 3/10 is going to be in this position. And to put a digit in the decimal position here for 3/10, we're going to take the numerator. So this value will be written in our tenths position, right? So we're going to put 3 in our first decimal place value. The second place value after the tenths position is what we call the hundredths position, right? Again, all these things have TH because we're dealing with fractions. We're not dealing with wholes, we're dealing with fractions. So the hundredths position, what we notice here is that we have 7 over 100, so that means 7 hundredths. So this digit is now going to occupy the hundredths position. So I will actually take the numerator, and the numerator here is 7. So I will put 7 in this position. So my decimal notation for this sum is 0.37, right? So we always have to remember what are the place values for our decimal digits, and then remember if you have them as fractions, tenths would be on a fraction denominator of 10, and hundredths as a fraction would be on a denominator of 100, right? So this is how we write this sum as a decimal.